This is the new PoE 2 build. Path of Exile 2's build of the week
How
Rambo
long
Wizard.
would the Lord of the Rings trilogy be if Gandalf had a machine gun? This question has...
If Gandalf had a machine gun, I mean, there's literal wizards, so wouldn't a machine gun be pretty bad? Then again, I guess they have bows and arrows, and that seems pretty good.
finally been answered by Shadow Edwin, who has turned a usually slow weapon skill into a rapid-fire boss melter. As it turns out, the trilogy would not be very long at all. Welcome to Build of the Week. I'm Eben from Grinding Gear Games. This build centers around the new unique staff, the Unborn Lich, from the Abyssal League. This grants his Scattering Calamity, a lightning skill with a lot of potential. Edwin has built this on a Titan Warrior for reasons we'll get into soon, but most importantly, it's a buff wizard. They call him Gandalf the Gaines, Rambo Radagast, you get the idea. His Scattering Calamity generates well sprites, which are orbs that linger for a duration, then fire off as projectiles. Importantly, they fire one at a time. So, to convert his Scattering Calamity into his rapid-fire machine gun, we need to make the Wellsprite hover duration as short as possible. To do this, Edwin makes use of the reduced duration nodes on the passive tree.
Yeah, you would have to.
And here. And, as I mentioned, we're buff. With our Titan Ascendancy, we can use Hulking Form to get 50% extra value from our small nodes, which affects the reduced duration on the tree. With all that together, it really does go brr. Some memes aren't meant to be said out loud. Brr. Do I roll the R? Brr. There's also some cool tech in getting this to be smooth to play. Usually, when you recast his Scattering Calamity, the cooldown on the orbs you've summoned is refreshed, and they won't fire until you stop casting, like so. Edwin is using the Considered Casting Support gem to actually slow down the spell cast, the animation itself. Calculated correctly, this cast speed will be slightly longer than the duration of the well sprites, meaning we can hold down the cast button and fire off our orbs before we've had time to cast new ones and refresh the duration.
That's cool.
Voila, we have our machine gun. We finally know who he is in his Scattering Calamity. It's Rambo. But not Rambo from the first movie where he's processing PTSD, but probably one of the sequels like Rambo 3. For even more firepower, Edwin has incorporated 2 copies of Frost Darts. This is another appropriately rapid projectile spell that blasts enemies with spears of ice. Both copies of the skill are automated. One uses cast on crit,
humorous.
and the other uses cast on elemental ailment. Since we're critting and shocking fairly often, we get a nice steady stream of Frost Darts for more machine gun in our machine gun. Now,
That's pretty
you
cool.
might be thinking that all this casting probably costs a lot of mana. But don't worry. All you need to do is pay for your mana using your life, pay life using your spells, pay for upgrades that regen your life based on your spells, then pay for more regen to pay for your spells to pay your life to pay your mana costs. Got it? Okay, sorry. Basically, Edwin is using blood magic to cast with life instead of mana. Then, with the Abyssal Jewel Undying Hate, we can unlock the Sacrifice of Blood Keystone. This lets us regenerate life based on our mana costs. With these nodes, boosted by Hulking Form, we can regenerate more life than we lose from casting, which solves our mana problem.
Thanks for the raid.
And actually, if we spam spells, we can get up to 3k per second life regen, which is a nice defensive layer too.
It's crazy.
Another cool thing here is that Edwin is using the Veil of the Night unique helmet, which is giving us a huge increase to our maximum life at the cost of all our elemental resistances.
Veil of the Night, alright.
Usually this would not be worth the trade-off, but Edwin has made it work. Firstly, we can compensate for our lack of resistances by having as many of these mods as possible that lets our armor apply to elemental damage. Then, since we have so much life, we might as well use it to increase our damage too. Back on the Unborn Lich staff, you may have noticed that it's been rolled with this mod, which increases spell damage based on our max life. This alone provides a massive damage boost. As yet another layer of defense, the Time of Need buff pairs nicely with our steroid-infused skill duration. This skill heals you and removes your
Thanks
debuffs,
for Prime Rin.
usually once every 10 seconds or so. But with this build, it activates at a blistering pace of once every 1.2 seconds. Like giving meth to Florence Nightingale. With all this together, Rambo can live to see the next sequel. There's a lot more going on with this build, which we don't have time to get into here. Edwin is making excellent use of elemental remnants, reduced duration tech, chilled ground, weapon swapping, and more. but hopefully you understand the shape of this fantastic creation.
They're pretty cool.
Thanks to Shadow Edwin and friends for their...
It feels like the crux of the build was like lowering the cast time so that you don't have to sit there and wait for the... Like that was the issue I was running into, and I didn't come up with the tech to make it where like you could have this casted before the next one came up so you can just hold it down. That seems to... Like that calculation seems to be like the heart of the build.
Contribution. This build is so much fun to play, with a great theme and excellent use of League-specific uniques and mechanics. If you'd like to know more, please check out their detailed guide in the description.
The review is in less than an hour.
And see you next time.
That's actually pretty good. That might be one of my favorite, if not my favorite, build of the week. That one seems pretty strong. I wonder how expensive
do I roll
this
you
build
out?
is. Like that,
There's also some...
That part. The part where you have to do less cast time to make it still pop off actually seems to be the best. That was pretty good. Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good highlight. Very well done build. Let's who's the person? Shadow Edwin. Okay, here's an actual. Here's a tier 3 crux of nothingness.
A king without a real crown and sin without a head. To the thorn grip. The darkness.
Ozzy says stop ignoring him. What am I missing?
A cowardly trick. It won't save you.
I mean, the damage is good. You got the diamond in this one.
Hello everyone. Today.
Do you have any other? Here you go. Twisted Domain showcase. Seems pretty good. I don't know, that seems pretty good. How much rarity does it have? Probably shitloads. Looks like a very expensive build.